What's going on, everybody, and welcome. With 2023 drawing to a close, I thought it would be cool to do something different on the channel, something I haven't done before. I'm doing a top 10 list. Now, I know what you're going to say. Everybody does a top 10 list. This isn't original at all. Well, I know. It's not a very original idea, but I did want to talk about some of the games that I enjoyed this year. So I'm doing a top 10 games of 2023. So my sort of like top 10 list of games that I put tons of hours into, enjoyed, loved, leading up to number one, which we can probably call my game of the year. Haven't done that episode of the podcast yet, but we're working on it. But yeah, this will be my top 10 of 2023. I hope you enjoy it. Now, there will be some notable missing games from this list, but that probably just means I haven't played them enough, I haven't played them at all, or yeah, they just didn't make the list at all. For example, Baldur's Gate 3 isn't on this list. And that's not because Baldur's Gate 3 is a bad game. It's not because Baldur's Gate 3 is a game I did play. It's because it's a game I haven't put enough hours into yet and feel like if I did put it on this list, I would only be putting it on the list because it's expected to be on the list. But Baldur's Gate 3 is an amazing game, and I intend to put more hours into it over the holidays. But yeah, this is just my personal top 10 list of 2023. Make sure to let me know what you guys think about the list. What's your list? Add that down below. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into my top 10 of 2023.
Okay, so before we get into the top 10, I feel like there needs to be a little bit of a special mentions here, and the special mention is the finals. It didn't feel right putting this on a top 10 of 2023 list, seeing as it's only really just come out, and I don't think I've spent as much time with it as I would have liked. But there's no denying that I've had an amazing time with the finals so far. The last few years have been filled with so disappointing shooters, so the finals feels like it's coming at a really perfect time to deliver that perfect first-person multiplayer experience that not only did we need, but we deserved. If the game had come out a little bit earlier, it may have made it onto the list, but I can say for sure that I recommend the finals and everyone should check it out. Honestly, for the last week or two, it's been mine and my friends' obsession. I cannot recommend the finals enough. So coming in at number 10, we have Starfield. Now I know this isn't going to make a lot of people's top 10 lists, and I understand why, but I was very lucky in the way I got to experience this game. I took a more roleplay approach to my playthrough and was lucky enough to have my two best mates in a Discord call doing the exact same thing. So it was fun to sit there and talk about what choices I made opposed to what choices they made. It was a fun little bonding experience for us. Now, Starfield, is it one of the best games of the year? No, probably not. But I can't deny that this being one of the games I had the most fun with in 2023. Made all the more fun by getting to experience it with my friends. Starfield isn't amazing, but it's pretty good. So Monster Hunter Now, this is going to seem like a weird inclusion on a top 10 of 2023 list, but Monster Hunter Now is an interesting little mobile game made by the creators of Pokemon Go, where effectively you roam around and walk around the real world fighting monsters from the Monster Hunter universe, taking their body parts and all that stuff, creating new weapons and armor, and then rinse and repeat. You do it all over again. Now, if you guys listen to the podcast, you know that we do our Game of the Year awards, our version of it every year. And one of the categories we have is called Best Toilet Game. And this was by far the best toilet game of the year because it was a game I didn't just play on the toilet. I found myself actively playing it out and about. While I was going on my walks or hanging out with my family and friends, I'd always pull my phone out and check what monsters were in the area, what quests needed to be done, and what dailies I hadn't completed yet. It was an addictive, fun time. And as a massive Monster Hunter fan, it was nice to have another way to experience this franchise. If you enjoyed Pokemon Go, or you're a massive fan of Monster Hunter, and you haven't checked out Monster Hunter Now, I would highly recommend going to check it out. So a new Fire Emblem game came out this year, and I feel like a lot of people have forgotten that, but I really did enjoy Fire Emblem Engage. It wasn't as amazing or as great as the stuff that has come before, but any Fire Emblem is good Fire Emblem in my opinion. I enjoyed the new emblem rings and the Engage system, calling upon heroes from the older games in order to help you in combat. I thought it was a real cool mechanic and a great way to honor what came before, but also feel new and fresh. I think if you're somebody that hasn't played a Fire Emblem game before and think the older games might be a bit too intimidating, or you don't know much about the characters, the lore, and the history of Fire Emblem, well, Fire Emblem Engage is a really good starting point for new players, and I highly recommend that everybody go and check it out. I had a lot of fun with it, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what Fire Emblem does next. Also, stay tuned to the channel. We actually have some Fire Emblem content coming up pretty soon, fingers crossed. Hogwarts Legacy feels like a game that came and went, and no one's really spoken about it since, which is sad because it really was one of the best single player games that we got this year. Set hundreds of years before the story of Harry Potter, the game takes full advantage of that freedom and gives you the opportunity to explore Hogwarts, its surrounding grounds, and without worrying about the threat of a noseless bald guy chasing a young child. The game was beautiful, the story intriguing and new, while also doing a great job to honor the source material. The game was a joy to play, and I can't wait for its inevitable sequel. So coming in at number 6 is Lies of P. Now, I'm not going to talk about this one for too long as I haven't finished the game yet, but I do need to put it on this list. Lies of P was a game that I was extremely excited for, putting many hours into the demo alone, and I have to say, it did not disappoint. I'm actually really excited to put my thoughts to paper when I eventually do my Lies of P review. As of right now, I still haven't finished the game, which is why there's no review out. I won't review a game unless I finish it, but my god, Lies of P is an absolute amazing experience. One I highly recommend. Even if you don't finish the game, I feel like you'll get something from the game, and I feel like maybe Lies of P would have been higher on this list if I had the skill to finish it. But if you're a Souls fan, you should probably give Lies of P a try. You won't regret it. Now, if you've been hanging out on the channel or the streams this year, you probably know that I have a real big soft spot for Mortal Kombat 1. I knew I was going to put a fighting game on this list, and it has been a real battle between Mortal Kombat 1 and Street Fighter 6. I was lucky enough that Tekken hasn't come out yet, and it's not coming out until next year, so it didn't turn into a three-way battle, but yeah, I ended up giving it to Mortal Kombat 1, even though I would probably be the first person to say that Street Fighter 6 is a better game, with more to offer than Mortal Kombat 1, but I just have a soft spot for MK1 that I can only explain by I just had a good time. The story mode was amazing, I loved it. I'm not good at online, but I always jump in and give it my best shot. The new invasion mode kept my attention for, well, the 3 seasons it's been out. I've really enjoyed it, and I feel like this is a really good starting point for new Mortal Kombat fans to join. Mortal Kombat might not have been the best fighting game this year, but my god was it close. If you haven't tried MK1 or Street Fighter 6, and you think fighting games are too intimidating, now is definitely the time to jump in. Or you can wait for Tekken 8. The demo dropped the other day and it was absolutely amazing. I'm actually very excited for Tekken 8 and I cannot freaking wait. But Mortal Kombat 1 is the fighting game that really stole my attention this year. Super Mario Bros. Wonder had to make this list. I haven't really spoken about it much on stream and I haven't done a review yet, but stick with me. There will be more reviews on the channel in the coming year, I promise that. But yeah, Mario Bros. Wonder was a really good, fun time, and I think I had more fun with it than I normally would because of my kids. I have a 4-year-old and a 10-month-old, and they are absolutely obsessed with Mario. So it was a lot of fun to sit down and play this game with my 4-year-old and watch her experience Mario in another form other than the Mario Bros. Movie. Also, Mario is just a really good time. Mario Bros. Wonder doesn't push the envelope forward. It feels like a 2D Mario game, and it should. The Wonder Seeds are a cool mechanic, and I look forward to seeing how and if they're implemented in the future. Super Mario Bros. Wonder is an amazing game. It just might not be the best 2D Mario game, but I'll save more of my thoughts for the inevitable review. As far as this list goes, Super Mario Bros. Wonder 100% deserves to be on it. Okay, we've come to the top 3 now, and coming in at number 3 is a game that I could have sworn would be at number 1. It's The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Now, the reason I couldn't put Tears of the Kingdom at number 1 is it is a game that I haven't finished yet. I keep finding myself distracted by the world and everything around me, which is basically what happened with Breath of the Wild. And if I'm being honest, it took me a really long time to roll credits on Breath of the Wild. Just like, I feel like it's going to take me a really long time to roll credits on Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom isn't just an amazing Zelda game, it's an amazing game in general, and it's more than deserving of being in the top 3 of this list. I don't think it would surprise anybody to know that it's up here, and I'm a massive Zelda fan, and I've been hyped for Tears since its announcement. I can't wait to share more of my thoughts and feelings when I eventually finish the game and complete my review, but I don't think anybody needs me to tell them that Tears of the Kingdom is a freaking amazing video game. So, coming in at number 2 is a game I thoroughly enjoyed, not just as a gamer, but as a fan of the Star Wars universe. Star Wars Jedi Survivor was an amazing follow-up to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I'm a big fan of Cal's story. The gameplay was a great time and a massive improvement over Fallen Order. All the new characters introduced were interesting and didn't feel out of place with the old cast. The new planets were varied and interesting locations to explore and really helped flesh out the Star Wars universe. And thank God, because the Star Wars universe as a whole has been in a very interesting place these last few years. So So it's nice that these games exist, showing that not all Star Wars stories have to divide a fan base. But for my full thoughts on Jedi Survivor, feel free to go check out the review that's up on the channel, and if you want, check out the review for Fallen Order as well. So, coming in at number 1, and probably, let's be honest, gonna end up being my game of the year, is Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Now, for people that have been around a really long time, back in the old Aussie lag days, you guys have probably heard me gush about the original Marvel Spider-Man on PS4 and how I consider that to be my favorite game of all time. Well, the sequel to that absolute masterpiece dropped this year, and it did not disappoint. Marvel Spider-Man 2 is an amazing game and is an amazing experience. To me, I feel like there's some people out there that feel it wasn't as good as the first, and quite a few people were disappointed with how it went, but I'm quite the opposite. As someone who was extremely hyped for this game, going in, I was really scared it couldn't live up to that hype. I was very happy to report that Marvel Spider-Man 2 didn't meet my expectations at all. It exceeded them. From a story that gripped me from start to finish, the introduction of new and old villains into this Insomniac universe, and the ability to play as 2 Spider-Men and swap freely between them whenever I felt like it, Marvel Spider-Man 2, to me personally, was a perfect game. I cannot wait to see what they do with Spider-Man 3. Heck, I can't wait to see what they do with Wolverine. Insomniac are the masters at Marvel single-player games at the moment, and I hope studios like Arcane take a page out of their book in regards to storytelling and showing respect to the characters, because Insomniac have just nailed it. If you guys want to hear me gush more about Marvel Spider-Man 2, there's a review up over on the channel. Feel free to go and check it out.
Well, that is it. That is the 1UP Games list of the best games of 2023 in my opinion. I really am looking forward to jumping into playing more Baldur's Gate 3, going back to Armored Core, and just playing games that I haven't had the opportunity to play this year, because again, it's been another great year full of games. Before we wrap the video up, I just wanted to thank you guys for the support this year. I really do appreciate it. We've seen a big influx of subscribers in the last couple of weeks, which means the world to me. I really do appreciate you guys coming, watching, commenting, liking, and just, interacting with me. I really do appreciate it. I cannot thank you guys enough. I'm probably going to have an update video up on the channel in a couple of weeks' time, just going over the direction of the channel for 2024, the stuff I want to accomplish, some of the things I want to do, some ideas I have. So hopefully you guys stick around for that one. But I guess all that's left to say is thank you so much, everybody. We're really looking forward to year 2 of 1UP Games and where we're going to take it in the future. And I guess really all that's left to say is Happy New Year, guys. We'll catch you guys next year, and until next time, may all your games be good ones. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will catch you guys next time. Happy New Year, everybody.